Hello there. So this is the day 2 report of the NaNoWriMo mission, and I thought I'd start off with some word counts. That seems to be the way to go. Yesterday I did 828 words, and today 808 words, so for a grand total of whatever, 1600 and something words, which is half what you're supposed to be doing. But remember, I've already written 25,000 words. A bit cheating, but I've already written 25,000 words, so that's in the whole. That's in the bank, if you like. So I'm just adding every day. If I write 800 words, I'll be complete. So I've done 2 days. I'm going at half the speed of most people. Story of my life. But anyway, I'm on target. In fact, one of the useful things with if you sign up for NaNoWriMo on their website, nanowrimo.org, you can input your numbers, and it'll tell you. It gives you nice little graphs of how you're doing and everything, and it'll tell you how many days left you've got at your current rate to complete your novel. Because if you input 25,000 words in the first day, it tells you that you'll be at this rate you'll be finished by November the 2nd. It doesn't really understand that, but anyway, right, what to tell you? Right, well, so that's the word count, and I wanted to talk briefly about what I've been writing, because that might be useful to you, and you'll just see what I'm going through, and it, as I say, it might be useful to you. What did I do on the first day? One of the recurring conflicts is between Hannah and her kind of boyfriend, and he speaks only Japanese and she speaks only English. There's the major conflict, and they've been using Google Translate to communicate with each other in the story, and I got a bit tired of doing that. I thought this is a bit boring, and I thought, wouldn't it be interesting if they had to communicate quite difficult concepts by gesture? so I made sure that Hannah's phone got disconnected, and her boyfriend's phone ran out of batteries, and that caused them to then have quite a funny scene, which it needed a sort of a light scene with a bit of hilarity there. That was yesterday. Today, this morning, I did 25 minutes in the morning before work and 25 minutes at lunch. I've just finished lunch. I've got to go back to work in a bit. And then today, what did I do? So what I was writing today, I had a bit of a struggle with, I think my previous book, I had Hannah Walker always running around too much, and I found myself writing another scene where Hannah Walker was running, and I thought, no, I need to stop that. Something needs to happen. And so I had some mysterious person bump into her and steal something from her, and she decides to stop running. And just having noticing a problem, and I just sort of wrote around it, and it made it more interesting. Something more interesting is happening, and that's opened up plot possibilities that weren't there before. So those are the 2 things I've done today and yesterday. Adding, they're both in one scene, but I've nearly finished that chapter. Anyway, I thought I'd give after boring you with what's going on with my novel, I'd give you a useful tip, and my useful tip for today is one that the NaNoWriMo people keep saying, although they say it in a very wishy-washy way, which is don't edit your stuff when you're writing. In fact, they say try not to edit when you're writing. I say don't edit when you're writing. The reason for this is you don't know what you've got until you get all the way to the end. You might fool yourself into thinking, well, I can save time by editing now and do it both at the same time. Write a bit and then edit a bit, or write a bit and edit a bit. What you'll find though is that you'll end up, everything that you write takes twice as long to complete because you're going back and editing it. And in fact, you'll probably be spinning your wheels and then worrying about, is this the right sentence? Is this the right way of structuring, and blah blah blah. When in fact the whole scene might get cut. So you're just duplicating effort if you edit now. You may think that you know better, and maybe very experienced writers can do it, where they write a bit and edit a bit, write a bit and edit a bit. But I really think it's a mistake, because, as I say, you really don't know what you've got until you get to the end. And if you've spent a long, double the amount of time writing and editing, and then you think, oh, I've got a complete manuscript. Yeah, but some of it might really suck, and some of the scenes might really need to be cut. But because you've spent so long working on it and editing it, you feel really reluctant to cut it, but it really needs to be cut. Or it might be, but that's the dreaded sunken costs that we put into writing or anything, and you have to walk away from sunken costs. Walk away from them. And if you've spent your time editing and doubling down on mistakes early on, you can't walk away from it. So don't edit, just write, and therefore you can hit your targets. There is a time for editing, but it's not now. Now is for drinking copious amounts of coffee and writing. Sorry, I thought I'd have another. Try and do every day a little recommendation. Today's recommendation is to listen to Paul Teague's podcast, Self-Publishing Diaries, which comes out every Sunday, and Monday he has an interview with authors. What's good about him is he talks to beginner authors a lot, or people who are not super successful but are finding their way, which might be of interest to you guys. Certainly interest to me. Paul Teague, Paul Teague, Teague, Self-Publishing Diary. I forgot what it's called. I'll try and put a link in, but if I don't, you can find it. That's really good. He also puts out videos, actually. In fact, I'll put a link to one of his videos, and then you can find him easily. And finally, I wanted to leave a misquoted, maligned quote. I want to leave a little quote at the end of every video, and today's quote that I can just barely remember is from Kierkegaard, who said, the problem with life, or the thing about life, is you've got to live it forward, but can only understand it looking backwards. That's like, writing and editing. I think it's true. Much the same in writing. You can only go forwards, and only afterwards can you look back and see where the meaning is. Kierkegaard was right. Talk to you tomorrow.